What's going on, Jerome's? So we famously have had our issues with the Athletic this offseason. The whole Rodgers drama and all that nonsense. But as we said 17,000 times, Alec Lewis of the Athletic, beat writer for the Vikings for the publication, has done well. Now, yeah, he definitely stood up for the reporting of the mothership, his athletic brethren, but just sort of is what it is, right? But Alec Lewis does call a spade, got great sources, writes great stuff. That being said, I disagreed with one part here. So, did up a piece, Vikings offseason winners and losers. As OTAs begin, who is worth watching? And for one of the losers, actually the first loser listed was the Vikings quarterback room. All right, so it's not so much the personnel, but the coaches. This is what he wrote. The Jacksonville Jaguars hired a 29-year-old as their OC for a reason. Grant Udinski, who last year was the assistant offensive coordinator and assistant quarterbacks coach for the Vikings, bridged gaps between O'Connell's schematic vision and the weekly quarterback plan. Vikings quarterbacks coach Josh McCown frequently praised Udinski's knowledge of the system. Udinski arranged post-workout walkthroughs for quarterbacks most afternoons. More than most, Udinski understood the way O'Connell's mind worked and how to translate his plan to the quarterbacks. The Vikings hope to keep him, but Jacksonville head coach Liam Cohen Duval had eyed him for years. Minnesota's infrastructure remains rock solid, but the new hire for Udinski's role, Jordan Traylor, formerly an offensive assistant with the New Orleans Saints, has big shoes to fill. He must serve as a confidant for J.J. McCarthy. Now, with Udinski, famously, like one of his main roles was basically be the buffer between McCarthy and all the other coaches, because McCarthy is very inquisitive by nature and was bugging the bejesus out of all the other coaches. How you do this? What coverage was here? Blah, 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 da, da, da. But Udinski basically was McCarthy's handler, and that's perfectly fine. And, of course, Grant Udinski was one of Kevin O'Connell's first hires, basically his right-hand man. Also, famously, he's in the background of the Kevin O'Connell mean-mugging Donachelle shot. So, basically, the only reason why Lewis lists the Vikings quarterback room as losers is because of the loss of Udinski. Now, this does smack of the maybe Grant was one of his sources sort of deal, sort of quid pro quo. Definitely hyping up Grant as he becomes OC of the Jaguars. You could probably see Grant Udinski, 5-6 years down the road, becoming a head coach in his own right. But basically, what were the Vikings going to do in terms of if they want to keep Udinski? Because you're not getting rid of McCown. Kevin McCown is definitely not getting rid of Wes Phillips. So what? It was a move up to basically a non-play calling OC role, essentially what Phillips is now with the Vikings. Udinski got that job with the Jaguars, so I know what can you do, all right? But in terms of the Vikings quarterback room, I actually don't mind it. So you still have the same play caller, Kevin O'Connell, same OC, Wes Phillips, same quarterbacks coach, Josh McCown, which is a huge keep for the Vikings. And personnel-wise, like it's J.J. McCarthy's squad, right? So Darnold, Mullins, Jones, gone. You got Brosmer and Slinging Sam Howell back. Brett Rippon-Ass, the coaches seem to like a lot, as well as Jordan Traylor, who made Derek Carr look less like Derek Carr last year with the Saints. That's certainly something to keep in mind. So overall, it sucks losing Udinski, but I don't think that this is a massive downgrade. Although Jordan Traylor does look like an unemployed magician. I don't know, man. But overall, keeping Josh McCown is massive because I think that there could and should be interested in him for an OC and eventually a head coaching job as well. But what it comes down to is hey, you got Kevin O'Connell, you got J.J. McCarthy, and then guess what? Because the Vikings are going to be successful, teams will be trying to pick at what the Vikings' secret sauce is. So you wouldn't be shocked if Wes Phillips, Josh McCown eventually get tabbed for better jobs, as well as teams are going to be looking at the Vikings' backups. And we said, with Kevin O'Connell, just make this a quarterback factory over and over and over and over again. The backups, the veteran rehabs, the Mama I Can Change type players, the draft picks who develop behind J.J. McCarthy, just have them be in demand, always having those trade shits at the most important position in all team sports. But overall, it sucks losing Udinski. I don't think that necessarily makes the quarterback room losers, though. But I guess we'll see. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings quarterback room listed as one of the losers from the offseason. Nah. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best to do. Skull production value.